He's Sam.
Oh, and he's Max.
And this is Movies Actually, our fresh take on new releases from both the streaming box and the box office. And this one is a little different.
Oh, yes, it is, in several different ways, yes.
Yeah. On this episode, we are going to be discussing a new movie that is due out on Film Hub sometime in the next couple of months, although I should imagine February, considering the setting.
Yes, it seems appropriate.
Yeah. So this is an indie movie called Pimposium, which is from first-time director Jimmy Bryant. And how best shall we describe it? Let's start with how this all came about, first of all.
Yeah. Tell the story.
Yeah, exactly. So Jimmy contacted me recently, having seen what we do on the platform, and asked if we'd be interested to either give a shout out or a review to this short film, which he shot last autumn. And obviously, Sam and I, both being actors and having both been involved in more than our fair share of low and zero budget movies, we're always happy to give a bit of a platform to up and coming filmmakers. You know, it's part of the thing that we always wanted to do with this show, as evidenced by when we did Diamond Dogs, is to shine a light on people who aren't in the Hollywood bubble, shall we say.
Yes, that's one way of putting it.
And this film perfectly fits within that category. So we said, yeah, send us a link and we'll give it a look and give it a review. So here we are.
Yes, here we are.
I will say that we did have a chance to ping some questions back to Jimmy, and he has responded, so we will be cutting away to his responses during the course of this as well. In fact, here's one now.
Hi guys, Jimmy Bryant here with Black Eyed Pictures and Pimposium. Thanks for taking a look at the film. I hope you guys had a ball. With that being said, I'll jump into our questions. How much improv went on during the filming? We actually tried to have a very strong respect for improv opportunities, and in the writing room tried to make sure that as we planned things out and wrote things out, that we held space for each of the actors to have opportunities in their roles. They were encouraged to find places where they could, let it all hang out, and I think that they did a great job hitting the mark. I shout out to Shane Brooks playing the role of Olajuwon. He is a musician, and he really just outdid himself with his performance.
Thank you, Jimmy.
It's not only a very low budget film, a very low budget film, but this is his absolute first film, and it's quite ambitious.
It is, yes.
It's a murder mystery / comedy.
Yeah, essentially. It's a murder mystery / comedy that kind of feeds into elements of things. I think one of the biggest influences on the film is stuff like Clue.
He decided to put his information to good use and make a little money out of it. What could be more American than that?
Yeah.
Is a big inspiration for it. There's a subtle subversiveness to it as well in some of its undertone. Again, I suppose that this one would be a good idea to give you a bit of the synopsis. The basic plot is that every 2 years, the pimps from a local area, yes, those kind of pimps, gather for a guild meeting, essentially.
Yeah, something like that.
And it seems like every 2 years they vote a new head of the Pimps Guild. And this event is called the Pimposium. And the events of the film take place on the night of this event. There's actually sort of a two-tier narrative going on here, because you've got the action of the main narrative itself. You've also then got cutaways as well to testimonials being given by the different attendees to the event.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we want going on.
Yeah.
But when the guests start turning up dead,
stuff and shenanigans ensue.
Exactly.
Definite shenanigans.
What was the budget like for the movie, and how did you use it? The budget was precious and small and used sparingly. I would say the bulk of the budget went on securing our sets. We were really fortunate here. We had some public resources available to us, and an arts council that had a facility with 2 art galleries and a theater that we were able to secure. And so what you watched, with the exception of the testimonials, all of that was shot September 20th, 2025 at the Bossier Arts Council. I showed up at 9 a.m. and everyone trickled in throughout the day, and we began working through our schedule as we could, and to get all of our shots at the right time. And so a shout out to all of the cast and crew who really outdid themselves. They worked tirelessly. I mean, they put in a 12, 14-hour day of just nonstop filming. And so I appreciate them for that. But that's just a testament to how tight our windows were that we were operating in, and how awesome it was of them to be able to just hit the ground running and knock out the romp that is Pimposium.
And as I said, it's comedy written in quite a fast-paced dialogue fashion, and for the most part works really quite well. It's quite witty, and there are a number of moments when I was laughing out loud. And because we've had a couple of days since we first watched it, or we were just rewatching a little bit of it, the first 10-15 minutes, and so many of the jokes landed more clearly this time around. Definitely a success in the comedy department.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's got I don't know if the right word is absurdist or surreal, but it's got these elements to it. Yeah, I mean it's sort of a bit Naked Gunny, isn't it, in places?
You want to take a dinghy? No, I took care of that at the press conference. Doesn't make sense, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is that kind of self-awareness to it that, you know, these guys, they know they haven't got a huge budget to do this with, so let's have some fun with it. Let's do some things that are quite blatantly tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. You know, if you haven't got the money to do something like a slick Hollywood film, then play into your strengths, and just if your strength is that you can have a laugh with it, then do so, and they do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, instead of trying to fight against their budget, they incorporated it into the film, and it lands, it works.
Yeah.
How much was the story affected by the locations you had available? I would say that the story definitely was affected by the locations we had available, and once I knew that was the location, I revisited the script and really took another look at how the film would flow, especially given what I just talked about with us having one day of filming. It became really, really important for us to make sure that we were doing our best to not waste any time. The Arts Council's facility definitely plays a big part in the movie. Artists Chang Liu and Nick Furlong, they were absolutely instrumental in the set design for the film. Chang Liu has had an incredible interactive glow-in-the-dark exhibit, and Nick Furlong had the strange, fleshy, geometric shapes and birds and all manner of oddity that really was almost its own character in the film. And so, harkening back to improv, that was not organized. Those exhibits were out of our control. It just so happened that those were the exhibits there, and I'm grateful for them for being willing to be a part of the film, and just like blown away at how talented they are.
When we were watching it the first time, again, I think more on your side because Sam's got more experience behind the camera than I do. Most of my stuff is involved acting and writing, whereas you've done more sort of behind the camera stuff.
Yeah.
And as we were watching it, you know, there are a few things that we thought could be tweaked.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things is I'd love to say to you, dear director, don't be so afraid of a wide shot. Especially in the first sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's a lot of framed close-ups, and it does make the physical environment a bit wonky.
Yes.
Whereas if you just had a couple of more, maybe mid-shots even, just to establish the physical where everybody is in the scene a bit more clearly, I think that might have helped.
Yes. And again, I know we were discussing quite a bit with the cutaways to the testimonials. And again, I think this may be something you might even be able to do now in post, because obviously, by the sounds of it, it's going to be difficult to go back and get everyone together to try and reshoot anything else.
We noticed that there were many surreal elements in the film. How many of these were planned, and which, if any, came to you in the moment? Well, jumping right off of the last question, Nick Furlong's exhibit in particular was very surreal. It was completely unplanned. And so that was truly a wonderful opportunity that we were able to take, among others. For example, the skeletons when people die, that was something that had been planned. Most of the big gags, I would say, we really took a long look at before we filmed.
They could have used a bit more of something to delineate that that it wasn't part of the main action.
Yeah, a caption or a color tone or something.
Yeah, whether it's just, as you say, a caption, so like an overlay. You can make up a fictitious documentary show that they're filming these for. So just having the logo for that show on screen during the testimonials is enough for an audience member to go, "Oh, right, we're outside of the action now."
Yeah, something like that. Just to hold the hand of your audience just a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I do like your idea about, with that, is you just have a running gag that you have like a ticker tape across the bottom with a bit of information about each of the pimps, and it changes every time. And you find a bit more about them, that kind of thing.
There is definite gag potential in something like that. So give it a thought.
Yeah, again, if you haven't sort of started sending it anywhere yet, there's still time to make tweaks like that because it's all in post. Just trying to do our bit to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well as the release on Film Hub. Do you have any plans to release it on any other platforms? This is Black Eyed Pictures' first offering, so I am a student and totally am in a state of learning right now. And so the plan for this film was a Film Hub release and to see where we got picked up. And as I move forward through all this, I hope to learn about other opportunities for my films and other places they could go. Congrats on the festival selection. How's the film doing on the festival circuit? We were super thrilled to be included as in the First Time Filmmakers Film Sessions Volume 1. It's actually marked a wonderful start to the festival circuit for us this year. We started our marketing campaign with all that at the beginning of 2026, so we're not far into it, but we're really excited that we already have a laurel under our belt. So
our thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, I think we do need to caveat, and again, when we're doing these ones, which are in our indie sort of subset, if you like.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we can't judge these in the same way that we would judge a Hollywood film.
No. We are giving leeway because of the style, the type of filmmaking that it is. There are a lot of flaws that come with it that are just a fact of life.
Yeah.
At that level of filmmaking.
Exactly, especially again for first-time filmmakers as well. There is a lot of leeway that we can give you for that because you're learning. And I mean, I know even in the interviews, he says he's a student of these kind of things himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
What can you tell us about your background in entertainment prior to becoming a movie director? So I spent some time thinking about this, because film is like this ultimate form of multimedia, right? And so there's like all these various tendrils and ways that you can make your way into the business, whether it be through audio and music or literary makeup, or you're a camera person, and so on and so forth. Not to make light of any other jobs, but my personal journey was through music and audio. I was in many bands, orchestra kid, performed in symphonies and such for years and through my youth. And over time, I had the opportunity to be involved with some short films in different capacities, whether it be, supplying some backline for a scene, or being an extra as a player, or composing and performing music for a film. And so I slowly but surely kind of made my way into movies through that angle. My wife and assistant director, she has her master's in English with a focus in creative writing. And so we've always enjoyed talking about story and thinking about story, musing on story. Throughout our relationship, we kind of grew out of fan fiction as I learned more about her and got to experience her literary expression. I think that it went a long way to spur my own literary development. That's really where that kind of came from and how I got here.
On the whole, I really enjoyed it. As I say, I think there's a few things. There are a few technical things that could have been done better, but again, it's all a learning process.
Yeah.
So we're not going to poo-poo you for that.
No.
Sorry. I don't know why I went there.
Is this true, Blackadder? Did Captain Darling poo-poo you?
Well, perhaps a little.
Yeah, as for myself, I enjoyed it. I mean, first watch, First 10 minutes I was a little confused, as again this was mostly because of the cutaways to the testimonials, but once I wrapped my head around that, I really quite enjoyed it. I was chuckling away through most of it, and like I said, a couple of actual laugh out loud moments as well. As a first time ever, I think it's quite admirable.
Mm-hmm. And the gratuitous use of skeletons is never a bad thing.
Yeah. The first time that happened, we were like, huh? What? Oh, I see.
But yeah, I'd say if you get a chance to see this, then definitely do give it a watch. Jimmy, let us know when it does go up on Film Hub, and we'll make sure to
give it a shout out.
Yeah. Give it a shout out. So I'm happy to give it a solid 1.
I'm in agreement. If you're interested in the indie market at all, this is worth a watch. Just remember, it's a first-time director, but it's worth a giggle.
Yeah,
it really is.
I will say as well, I don't know who it is who did your credits, man, but...
Oh, those were awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. They were spot on. They were absolutely fantastic. And also, as Jimmy does mention in his responses to our questions, there is adjacent material available.
Also, just to say, there are some really fun marketing initiatives going on for Pimposium right now, and more to come as we make our way to premiere and to our streamer release. But right now, on Amazon, Julius Masterson has released How to Get Your Friends Laid, which is a 46 or 48 page journey through Julius's mind of how to do just that. As silly as the title is, it actually is a book about being a good friend and holding space and empathy, which is kind of a joke into itself. But between that and the soon-to-be Pimp Pay crypto that will be minted for the pimps, there's a lot of exciting stuff that we're trying to throw out there to just kind of build the universe, so to speak. Thanks again. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope that you guys had fun with the film.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we will stick a link to that where you can find that on Amazon in the description below. Jimmy, well done on your first movie. As and when you decided to get behind the lens again, do let us know, and we're more than happy to take another look.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, we will be back again with something else next week. Has watching this put you in the Valentine's mood? While he's considering, I'm just going to say my usual. Please do look after yourselves, look after one another, and take care.
As always, guys, TTFN.